Oh, yay. I've saved quite a bit, I said, grinning at my phone. My name is Ruth. I'm a 29-year-old married woman balancing a job and home life. Even if my coworkers think it's weird, I can't stop smiling. We're finally close to saving enough money to build our dream home. The bank balance displayed on my phone screen is almost at our goal. My husband Cody and I, who met and married at work, don't have kids yet. We've always planned to have children after we get our house. I wanted to enjoy my single life a bit longer, but Cody, who's in his mid-30s, pushed for marriage when I was 27. It's awkward working at the same place as my husband, even if we're in different departments. Changing jobs would mean a pay cut. So I kept working, and we're finally one step away from buying our house. It's been a long journey. We don't have any major problems, and both our jobs and savings are going well. A simple marriage, a simple job, and soon, a simple home. I thought that continuing this ordinary life would make me happiest. But life isn't always smooth sailing. The biggest challenge in my marriage is dealing with my in-laws. After work, I return to our small rented apartment. It's a bit cramped for 2 people, but we're saving up for our house, so we make do. The moment I open the front door and see the shoes there, my exhaustion doubles. She's here again. I sigh to myself. I'm home.
Oh, welcome back. You're late,
says my mother-in-law Zoe, not Cody. She's sprawled out on the sofa in our tiny apartment. Good evening, Zoe.
Do you always come home this late?
Cody's parents live just 2 train stops away, close enough to drop by frequently. Zoe often comes over without worrying about the distance.
What about Cody's dinner?
She asks. She never says a kind word when I get home late from work, only complaints. Sorry, work was really busy. I'll get dinner ready right away.
Cody's home way earlier, even though you work at the same company.
Ugh, you're so inefficient. Our departments are completely different. Cody's department rarely has overtime, but the pay is low. My department is the backbone of the company, with many important projects that require overtime. In return, it pays the highest. It'd be nice if Cody would explain this to his mom, but his pride stops him from saying anything, so he just sips his coffee silently. We're both working, so he could at least help out with the housework a bit. But no, he does nothing. Shopping, laundry, cleaning, cooking, everything falls on me. When he gets home from work, he's either watching TV or fiddling with his smartphone. Zoe doesn't know this and continues her complaints.
Don't bother, we've already had dinner.
What? You already ate?
Yes, we had some delicious seafood. I treated my son to something nice for a change.
I see. I almost jumped when I heard the name of the high-end restaurant. If Zoe paid, there's nothing I can do about it, I thought as I headed to the kitchen to make my own dinner. But then she stopped me.
Ruth, I need a favor.
I had a bad feeling.
Things are tight this month. Could you lend me some money?
Of course. She frequently asks for money. Seriously? You just ate at a fancy seafood place. Didn't you ask for money last month too? And I gave you $500. And the month before that. I wanted to tell her she's the one who's inefficient, but I forced a strained smile instead. Sorry, we're tight this month too.
Ugh, how heartless. Not helping out when your parents are struggling.
Who's really being heartless here, though? Your son doesn't lift a finger around the house and goes out for fancy meals. Then Cody finally speaks up.
You're so stingy, Ruth. Mom's in a tough spot. Help her out a bit.
But we really can't afford it this month.
I'll help you out, Mom.
Cody sighs, pulling out his wallet and handing her $700.
You're such a good boy, Cody. My pride and joy. Like Ruth.
Zoe glared at me before heading to the door. I felt a bit relieved until she turned back with another glare.
Cody, if you ever want to leave this money-grubbing wife of yours, you can always come home.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
She slammed the door behind her. What was that about? I demanded. Cody was already back on the sofa with his phone. Why did you give her $700? If we have that kind of money, it should go to our household expenses. I have a reason for saying this. Cody pays the rent for this apartment, but that's it. I pay for all the utilities, internet, groceries, and other expenses. The reason is simple. He won't pay.
What are you talking about? I pay the rent, don't I? You want me to pay more? Huh, what a greedy woman.
He always refuses to give money. I pay for everything else, including the phone bill for that smartphone you're holding.
That's only fair. You make more money than I do.
But not by much. I'm barely getting by with all the household expenses and trying to save.
Oh, you can save? Then you're fine, see?
He reaches out his hand when I mention saving. What are you doing?
I gave my mom $700 and now I'm broke. Give me some spending money.
No way. You keep your entire paycheck for yourself except for the rent. Every month he complains about not having enough, saying he has to entertain clients and maintain connections, and I've always reluctantly given him money. But not today. Giving you money is the same as giving it to your mom. Why should I pay for your seafood dinners?
It's called being a good son.
What about me? Neither Cody nor his mother ever appreciates what I do. I'm just losing money. And what was that about, considering divorce? I ask.
Exactly what it sounded like. If you keep being stingy, I might have to consider it.
With that, he locks himself in the bedroom, leaving me to sleep on the couch. In our small apartment, there aren't many options. Amid these stressful days, my only solace is checking my bank balance. After enduring another round of complaints and demands for money from my mother-in-law, I opened my savings account on my phone at work. Just a little more and we'll have our house, I thought, but then I froze. What the hell? I exclaimed, standing up abruptly and apologizing to my boss before rushing home. Cody, are you here?
What's going on? You're home early?
He said wide-eyed. Before him was an array of expensive seafood. And he wasn't alone.
Oh, welcome back, Ruth.
Zoe greeted me,
We're just having a little seafood feast.
added my father-in-law. My in-laws were both here. What on earth were they doing? What's going on here?
Just eating some seafood. Want some lobster?
She offered. Where did you get the money for this?
Oh, we had a bit of a windfall.
Cody said. Windfall? I demanded, closing in on him. Panicking, Cody and his parents exchanged nervous glances. Desperate, Cody handed me a bank book, the one I'd just checked online. I flipped it open and stared in shock. What is this? How did you withdraw this money?
I guessed your PIN and it worked.
He said, grinning. You guessed? You stole my money. This is my savings from before we got married. The money I'd painstakingly saved as a single woman was gone. He admitted it without a hint of remorse, laughing.
Come on, we're married. What's yours is mine.
Don't be ridiculous. This is my hard-earned savings. Give it back.
Now, Ruth, what's this all about? A wife's money is her husband's money.
While he supports you, you're secretly saving up all this money. You really are greedy. Right? You should be grateful for what you have. Who do you think you're living off of?
I couldn't believe it. I was surrounded by enemies. What the hell? This is theft. Give me my money back.
Who's being ridiculous now?
The word thief clearly startled him. Irritated, he said,
I pay the rent and entertain clients and help my parents.
Yeah, Cody is such a good son.
You only make me pay the rent, while you save up all this money. Huh, must be nice for you.
You pay only the rent. And there are barely any client dinners. You ask me for money while helping your parents.
Shut up. You're the wife. You should listen to me and my parents.
What?
You should be grateful I'm not divorcing you.
Cody shouted, yanking me toward the door and throwing me out. Hey!
You're not getting any of this seafood. Go cool off outside.
I never expected to be thrown out. I was in shock for a while, but eventually I decided to stay at a business hotel for the night. The next day, when I returned home, only my husband was there. I was relieved that his parents were gone until he handed me a piece of paper. It was a divorce application with his section already filled out. What's this?
Listen, if you complain to me again, I'll file for divorce. If you don't want that, you better do as I say. I'll be handling the savings from now on,
he said, waving the bank book in front of me before heading out. Where are you going?
Out for a drink. Got a problem with that? I'll divorce you,
he said with a sneer and left. What an idiot. Did he really think I would just obey because he threatened me with divorce? I had already lost all my love for him. Plus, he didn't know that I had already moved all the money from that account to another one. I had multiple accounts because I didn't trust keeping all my savings in one place. The account he had was just one of many. I filled out my section of the divorce papers. What a fool. Leaving a signed divorce application. It was exactly what I wanted. I packed my things and left the house. After another night at the business hotel, I took a day off work to file divorce papers at the city office as soon as it opened. Then I went straight to a real estate agency. The previous night at the hotel, I had found a new listing for a house that caught my eye. It was a newly built single-family home close to the station, perfect for commuting. It was almost love at first sight, with the exterior and interior exactly as I imagined. I toured the house and decided to buy it on the spot. After that, it was a whirlwind of activity. Since staying at a hotel was too expensive, I explained the situation to a friend and stayed with them while preparing to move into my new home. I had to buy all new furniture and take care of various procedures. I was so busy that I almost forgot about my ex-husband and ex-in-laws.
Hey, Ruth.
One day, Cody showed up at my office, startling me. I had forgotten we worked at the same company. He called out loudly, drawing everyone's attention, and walked straight to my desk.
Why haven't you been answering your phone?
I just didn't feel like it. He had been calling nonstop, but I was too busy and didn't want to deal with it.
You withdrew money from our account, didn't you? What the hell? Why haven't you come home? Do you really want a divorce?
It's fine. We're already divorced, and that money is mine to use as I please. He still thought he could use divorce as leverage. When I said it so casually, he looked stunned. What's with that dumb look? It's hilarious.
What? We're divorced? You can't be serious.
You prepared the papers, so I filed them. Thanks for that.
I don't accept this.
It's done. I've already informed the company and completed the procedures. You should tell your boss, too. I turned back to my computer, indicating the conversation was over. I was too busy for this.
Where are you living now? Your stuff is still at the house.
I took what I needed. I'm living comfortably in a new place.
Where exactly?
That's none of your business. It's a private matter, and you have no right to know. He fell silent, clearly embarrassed by the stares of my coworkers and boss. Eventually, he left without another word. You've had it rough. The coworker sympathized. My new home was perfect. The fresh smell of a new constructed house was delightful, and it was spacious and comfortable. But I still needed a lot of things since I had just moved in. Today, I was expecting a delivery of some appliances I ordered online. The doorbell rang, and I opened the door thinking it was the delivery. I instantly regretted it. I cursed myself for not checking the intercom. Standing there was... Zoe? I blurted out in surprise. It was my mother-in-law, rather, my ex-mother-in-law. Behind her were my ex-father-in-law and Cody.
Long time no see, Ruth. We're coming in.
Zoe said, barging in without waiting for a response, examining my house as if appraising it.
This is a nice place. The furniture is great too. Put it in my room.
The bedroom is big too. Perfect. This will be our room.
Wait a minute.
Ugh, these curtains are awful. I'll pick new ones, so give me money.
The yard is spacious too. I might start a garden.
What were they talking about? I turned to Cody, bewildered. Cody, what's going on?
Be happy, Ruth.
Zoe interrupted before I could get an answer. She looked smug.
It's not much of a house, but it's good enough as a gift to your parents-in-law. We'll move in since it's a two-family home.
What?
Of course, you, our daughter-in-law, will do all the housework and we'll need a $1,500 monthly allowance.
What? Were they from another planet? I was completely baffled. You called me your daughter-in-law, but I'm single now.
What?
Zoe looked shocked. I was just as surprised. Cody, you didn't tell them?
I don't accept it,
he yelled. But the divorce was final. We were strangers now. Zoe's face turned pale.
What? You're abandoning us? Your family?
My parents live in the countryside. I'm planning to bring them here soon.
Ugh, don't be ridiculous. This house is ours.
No, it's mine. I bought it with my money. What was she talking about? This house was bought with my hard-earned savings.
Where are we supposed to live then?
That's not my problem. They had sold their house, planning to live off the money and what they could take from me. It was a terrifying scheme.
I don't care. I won't accept this,
she kept saying. But it didn't matter. We were strangers now, and this house was mine.
No, I don't accept it,
she screamed, ripping down the curtains in a rage. Hey, what are you doing?
These ugly things are going. This is my house, and I'll do what I want.
That's right. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. We're not getting divorced, and my parents and I will live here.
Cody was shouting too. Things were getting out of control. Just then I heard sirens. When they had barged in, I had secretly called the police. Finally, they arrived.
What are you doing?
We didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, take her instead.
They were being so obnoxious, trespassing and vandalizing my property. Didn't they know these were crimes? After the police calmed things down, they were taken away but not arrested. Oh, what a day. After their release, Cody kept coming back trying to reconcile, but every time he did, the police got involved. He even stalked me at work, but after I reported him, he got a stern warning from our boss. His misuse of my savings and invasion of my new home had spread through the office, making him a pariah. Eventually, he quit his job, struggling to find new work. His parents moved into the cheap apartment we had shared, using the little money from selling their house. That old house didn't sell for much. The three of them would have to scrape by in that cramped apartment. Finally free, I enjoyed my new home. I asked my parents to come live with me, but they preferred the countryside for now. So I embraced the solitude. If I found a good match, I might consider remarriage, but for now, I was happy alone. I wanted to get a dog, something I couldn't do in the apartment. Maybe start a garden and host friends for home parties. Looking out at the blue sky, I thought about all the things I could do now and felt optimistic about the future.